Terrence Howard had did a interview with Value Entertainment's channel, and in that video, he was talking about the industry and how it destroys people. He also mentioned how Diddy made kind of to let him know that he wanted to sleep with him. Also, in that video, he was giving advice. I'm going to share that video with you, and I want you to listen closely to what he is saying.
But when you lose your man card, that's the only thing I can think of. You lose your damn man card.
What is that? What do you mean by that?
You give up your ability, your right to being a man. A man don't take it, a man gives it. So when you give up that man card, you don't get that back.
Are you saying what I think you're saying?
No, I'm saying what I'm saying. You don't get that back. You come into this world as a man one time. You give up that right for anything, for fear of being hurt, fear of somebody doing something, for wanting to gain something. When you give up that man card right, you lose some spiritual energy that has always been pushing through. Like if a woman gives up her womanly right of being a mother and taking care of her family and do all those things, when you give up those things, but when you give up your manhood, I've never seen somebody recover from it. That was all the people that went to the puffy parties. That was all the people that did all those things thinking that there was never going to be a consequence for what they were doing. Get punked out and pimped out by some greater desire. You shouldn't have a greater desire than being a man. So I believe that's a big problem with a lot of the actors out there because they get fluid. And next thing you know, once you go fluid, it's gone. You don't have any foundation to pull yourself back from. So maintain your man card, no matter what.
Man, I mean, one of the things you're seeing, you went to a whole different place.
Sorry.
No, I get it. So you see some guys struggling with that. You see Bieber struggling with that. You see some of these guys struggling with that.
They can't get it out of their head. They can't get it out of their head. The things that they did, no matter how they did it, whether they were drunk or high or whatever, you gave up your man card. You need therapy. And that's the thing that hurts them the most. And so they end up on drugs, end up every way to try and get rid of any principles there are. And that's what the business does. And the women that trade their bodies to go and get the role, they get to the point where they have their Oscar, they have their money, but they don't have their dream. They don't have the soul that they started with. So it's like achieving don't mean anything. If I get all the Nobel Prizes from doing all of this, but in the process I have to trade out all of my integrity to do it so that they can stay in place, what benefit is that if I lose my integrity? You got to go in as a principle. And what we were brought in here as men. We produce 1,500 sperm per heartbeat for a reason, because the aggression is necessary. You don't trade that in, no matter what.
Did you ever have the opportunity where you got invited and you said no to it?
Hell yeah.
What was the consequences when you said no?
Puffy invited me for weeks, asking me to come and teach him how to, wanted me to be his acting coach for a while. Go there and he's sitting around just looking. I'm like, okay, what's the material you want to work on? He's just looking at me. Then next thing you know, okay, hey, will you help me? I want to hear your music. So I come over there and I play the music. And he's sitting there just looking at me, like waiting. Okay. So then my assistant was like, he wants to hang out with you next week. And I was like, for what? He's like, I think he's trying to f you. That's what my assistant said. I was like, oh, okay. Now I get it. So now no more communication. Now you know to be hands off with somebody. A number of producers come in to make the approach, and you threaten to punch them in the mouth, or threaten to knock their head off for talking to you or looking at you like you're a woman. When you approach a real man about his masculinity, you're going to get a real reaction back. It's a difference when a guy walks in a room and when a man walks into a room. And a man don't take the same things that a guy will accept. So always be the man in the room. And that's always been my whole thing, and have lost businesses because I don't bend over in that way. I don't compromise. I don't play gay roles.
So if you listen closely to what Terrence was saying in his interview, he knows a lot because he's in that industry. He's been around a lot of people. He's seen a lot of things. So he has a lot of insight that we as people who haven't been in that industry don't have. We understand what's going on and how whether it's music or movies, how they destroy people and how they want them to lose who they are. They destroy their souls, basically. And so, like I was saying, the same thing that Terrence Howard was saying, God has already warned us, as far as how we should conduct ourselves as men and women, and then we won't fall into this trap. If you read in the Bible in Leviticus 18:22 ESV, it states, "You shall not lie with a man as with a woman. It is an abomination." And then when you look at 1 Corinthians 16:13, it says, "Be watchful, stand firm in the faith, act like men, be strong." And then in Matthew's 16:26, it states, "For what will it profit a man if he gains the whole world and forfeit his soul? Or what shall a man give in return for his soul?" So basically, these people go into the music industry or into Hollywood with the understanding of what they want to get out of that. They want to, make music. They want to live a certain lifestyle. They want to get their, these people are artists and they want to get their form of art out into the world. But with that comes people who are predators, people who's looking to get and use people. They only want what they can get from that person. And when they done suck them dry, they toss them to the side. That's why you do see a lot of these people drinking alcohol, on drugs, because they're trying to silence their minds, silence what they have seen and silence what they have done. But at the same time, that would never go away. That will always be a part of who they are now. From the point of when they never did those things to the point of when they start doing those things, that will stay with them for the rest of their lives. And so, in order not to be in that situation, you have to ask yourself, is it worth giving up my soul for temporary pleasure, temporary fame, temporary things? Because everything will go away. Everything, just like when you think back to the Hollywood fires, just think a person, worked, did everything they can do, did some things they may not have wanted to do, and they built a certain lifestyle for them. That fire came in and wiped all that out. So now you don't have that Oscar. Now you don't have that house. Now you don't have certain things you don't have because it's material. But you still have your life. So was those things worth it? When those things are taken away from you, you're still going to be left with your memory. You're still going to be left with, do I have a strong foundation? Do I have strong integrity? I can't say the word. Do I have that in order to rebuild my life? Or are you going to feel crushed and destroyed? So that's why God word will never return void. What he say is the truth. That's why I always say read your Bible, because it gives you a pathway on how to carry yourself. It gives you sound information, sound knowledge of what to do and what not to do. We're always said, God always tells us to be sober minded and be watchful, because the devil prowls around looking for those who he can destroy. And who can he destroy? The people who are weak, the people who are vulnerable, the people who want, love fame and money more than they love their souls. And in the end, is it worth it? So I would like to thank you for watching my channel. My name is Delmarshae. Please like, share, and subscribe.